J-Knight, Batrep.
This battle report was brought to you by Painted to Play. To get a free quote on your next painting commission, visit paintedtoplay.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to another J-Knight battle report. As always, my name is Jay, and today I'm joined by Matt, here at Black Knight Games in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you're in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, or in the vicinity of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, I just like saying all three. It makes us feel important. Come here to Black Knight Games and check them out. Tons of stock, tons of tables, tons of people. You guys have so many players here. It just blows my brain. But it's awesome stuff. So definitely come here. Check out their website, www.blackknightgames.com.
Possibly, yes.
.com or .ca. Check it out. Either one. You'll know which one. One will say we're from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Or just type it in Google.
That's true. And so today we have a special game for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is going to be my Dark Angels versus your
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves, people. I don't remember if I've had a Space Wolf player play against me. I don't think so. Let's think. Number 1 wasn't Space Wolves. Number 2 wasn't Space Wolves. Number 3 wasn't Space. No, I'm kidding. I can't do that. I won't. Yeah, I don't think so. So it'll be a lot of fun today. We're playing 1,500 points. And we just rolled for the game, and we're playing the Relic. And we're doing table corners, so it's going to be fun. And without further ado, we'll get to our armies and the game.
So let's begin with 1,500 points of Dark Angels awesomeness. So I will be proxying some models, but you can see some Ravenwing. So leading my army is Azrael, represented by that Company Master, and Ezekiel, represented by that Librarian. They're going to be joined by Deathwing Squad and Land Raider, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So I have 2 squads of 5 Ravenwing. I decided to try out some Ravenwing for this battle report. And there is 2 plasma guns in each squad. And for a full list of our armies, check out the pre-game show. And I have 2 squads of Deathwing, one with a missile launcher and one with an assault cannon, each one with a chain fist. And that's my 1,500 points of Dark Angels. And now 1,500 points of Space Wolves. Once again, for a more in-depth review, check out our pre-game show. Leading the army is Njal, or Njal, or however you pronounce it, a scout squad with a Melta, a squad of Grey Hunters, 2 Dreadnoughts. One of them is the old, one of the old models. Another squad of Grey Hunters, 2 Rune Priests. Both of them have power armor. A squad of Long Fangs with 2 heavy bolters, or 2 plasma cannons and a heavy bolter, and 3 drop pods in which the people will be in. And that's 1,500 points of Space Wolves. And there are Storm Bolters on the drop pods. Now we roll for the see what game, and we roll, and it's a 6, which means the Relic. And we roll to see deployment type. And it's 5, so Vanguard Strike. Rolls who goes first. Matt rolls a 3. And I roll a 4. So I'm going first. I want to go first and get first blood. So we roll to see if there's night fighting. And first dice was super cocked. So he rolls again to clean up the table. And it's a 4, so night fighting is in effect. So here's what the table looks like after deployment. As you can see, not many guys are in that corner, and my bikes are just lined up against them. My Deathwing, one of them is in the Land Raider with my 2 HQs, and the other one will be deep striking. I'm going to use the Ravenwing as a teleport homer. And his scouts are right in the flaming range of my Land Raider, so I have to decide if I want to go for them. But first, he tries to seize the initiative, and he rolls a 5. Close, but no cigar, so it's Dark Angels turn 1. So I begin by scouting up my bikes. Technically this should have been before the turn, so it's technically pre-turn 1. So I scouted by moving up my bikes. And I'm just going to move them on top of the Relic, just so that I can get close to my opponent. My goal, as I said, is to get first blood, because first blood can be very important in a game like the Relic, where there's only one objective worth 3 points. So then I start with my Deathwing. I decided they're going to come in turn 1, and they don't scatter. They land exactly where I want. I roll my Psychic Power to reroll all my saves on my Librarian, and he's good. Then once again, my 12-inch movement, I'm going to just move them up as fast as I can so they can get a couple shots off. I know there's night fighting and there'll be a lot of cover saves, but it's always worth a shot to take out these Dreadnoughts now so that they don't be a real pain in my neck later in the game. And I decided to move up that Land Raider to flame those pesky scouts, because one of them does have a Melta, and I don't want to lose my Land Raider just to one little Melta and a scout squad. Plus, it's a good chance to get first blood, because my Flamer is AP3, so it will go through them pretty quickly. Ignores, obviously, cover. So we roll to see if it's immobilized. I do have a Dozer Blade on it, and I didn't roll a 1 anyway. And I decided to turbo to move up the other guys 12 inches so they can shoot any remaining scouts that are alive after the Flamer, and if they pass their leadership check. So I flame, and I get to hit 2. I need 2s to kill. And they're both dead. So 2 scouts are dead already, but not, unfortunately not the one with the Melta. So I had to shoot so I decided to shoot them with the bikers, and that's the great thing about these Ravenwing. They can move quickly and take out your opponent very quickly and ignore night fighting because it's such a short distance. So then next, the Ravenwing shoot at the scouts to try to get first blood. I do have a couple plasma guns in there that get to rapid fire, and the bolters. First 2 plasmas hit, and second plasma, 1 hit but 1 gets hot. Doesn't kill him though. Sorry, nothing hit in the second one because it was a 2 and a 1. And then the rest of them shoot with their twinling bolters. Luckily, they are twin linked, and as you know, it's awesome when Space Marines get twin linked guns. But unfortunately, I don't get any extra hits because of twin linking. So I need 4s and 2s to kill. And as you can see, they're all dead. So the front 2 are dead. He does get to take he has 4 wounds left on the last one. He rolls for his armor saves. I applied the AP ones first. And he dies. He's triple killed. And I lose a scout squad. And I get first blood. Matt's diversion was successful, he says. So I decided to shoot at the Dreadnought. Only my 1 plasma gun can see it. It hits. And gets a pen, but he rolls his cover save and also rolls a 6, so nothing on the Dreadnought. Then I tried to split fire my guy at the Dreadnought, and then the rest of them are going to shoot at the Devastators, or the Longfangs as they're actually called. I get 4 hits with my assault cannon on the Dreadnought, and 1 pen. He rolls cover again, fails it, so I only have a 1, so he has to snap fire next turn. And the rest fire their bolters at the Longfangs. Maybe I'll get lucky and take out 1 or 2 of them. My twin link guns, because they landed this turn. And I do manage to actually get a few wounds on the squad. He rolls his armor saves, and 2 of the Longfangs die instantly. And they're 2 of the plasma cannons, so that's awesome. My strategy is working well so far. He rolls his leadership check, and they're good. They stay exactly where they are, and now it's Space Wolves turn 1. So I was able to get first blood, but now it's time for him to bring the pain. So he drops a couple drop pods in. They do scatter a little bit, but nothing too crazy. There's no mishaps with drop pods unless they go off the table. And he lets his guys out. Now the one I'm scared of the most is Njal or Njal or Njal, however you pronounce his name, because he is a nasty, nasty, nasty man. And he has a lot of cool special powers. Each turn he gets to roll for a special power. And then all of his other guys just pop out to say hello and to get closer to my guys. And these Dreadnoughts are going to be pretty scary against my Deathwing, especially if I need to hit them essentially and destroy them. So Njal's ability rolls. It's a 3. So now he starts the Psychic Powers. He casts Enfeeble for his first Rune Priest on my squad. It goes off. I try to deny. And I do on a 6. So then he tries to cast Endurance on the other guys, and it goes off, so I get Feel No Pain. And he tries to cast Enfeeble on my other guys. I fail. And then he starts shooting at my bikers, gets a bunch of hits, but 6 is to wound because they're toughness 5. The toughness 5 on Ravenwing is really nice. Pass both my armor saves. And he continues to shoot at my Ravenwing. Does a Psychic Power. I try to deny. I can't. So that's the AP2 one. Gets 1 wound. Then he shoots his plasmas. All of them hit. And plasmas are going to be hurtful on me. But luckily I do get cover saves because of night fighting, and I'm on bikes, so I get a Jinx save. It's a bunch of armor he forced an armor save first. I pass my armor save, and I roll my cover saves, and I pass all 4. I'm really lucky with my cover saves so far this game. Shoots heavy bolters at my Deathwing. Gets a couple hits. And then the other heavy bolter guy, nothing. Force wound, nothing. Then he shoots at my guys with his Dreadnought. Heads a Snapfire, gets a wound, but I pass. Then he shoots the other bikers. A lot of shots, as you can see. Both plasmas hit, unfortunately. And the Kami Melta also hits. And he does a lot of wounds. And so I have to do 6 armor saves. And I fail 4 of my 6 armor saves. And then I get all my cover saves. And as you can predict, whole squad gone in one shot due to all that firing. So there goes an entire squad of Ravenwing. So then he shoots his Assault Cannon Stormbolter at my guys. He gets a rend. I get my 5 of cover. And I pass. So he's good. So then the Dreadnought tries to assault the Terminators. I overwatch with my Assault Cannon. Get 1 hit. But no wounds. No pen. And he gets in. And so this combat will be very interesting. I pile in initiative step 4. I can't really hurt him though initiative step 4. So he gets to swing first. And this is when the damage starts. So he gets 4 attacks. 3 hits out of those 4 attacks. And 2 wounds. So I rolled 2 5-up invols, and fail them both. So the Sergeant is dead, and one of the Fists is dead. I leave the Sergeant purposely out because he can't hurt the Dreadnought in close combat. So I get my Power Fist attacks, they all whiff, and then my Chain Fist attacks, and they all whiff. So no.
Alright, so here's what the table looks like after 1 turn. My Knights completely whiffed. I didn't hit with 6 attacks, needing 4s. That's all good. And those guys are in trouble due to Psychic Powers. I killed his scouts. He's killed one of my squads of bikers and one of my Deathwing, right?
No, only 2 members of Deathwing.
Oh yeah, and the other squad's in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, they're in there. That's what I was wondering where all my troops go. All right, and we'll see what happens in turn.
And now it's Dark Angel's turn 2. I start by casting my Psychic Power to get to reroll my armor saves and stuff. And it goes off. Of course, I forgot about his runic weapon that negates everything on a 4+. And he negated it. So I move up. Preparing to flame. Of course, I realized I was quite outranged, so I just jumped out with my Terminators, and they're all going to assault that squad and hopefully wipe him out. Right now, my goal is to wipe out his 2 tactical squads, because he only has 2 squads of troops right now. So if I can take them out, they can't score the Relic, and since I have First Blood, I'm hoping that will help me out in the game. And my Warlord is relatively hard to kill. So next, I move my Ravenwing up. They are in difficult and dangerous terrain because of Njal's special power from last turn. I roll for all my dangerous terrains, but luckily I pass them all. So they're going to shoot and hopefully assault Njal's squad. They get to shoot and assault since they have Relentless. And I do get some hits. It's going to be relatively easy to mow down a couple of these guys, I hope, because of the plasma and the Twin Link bolters on the bikes. We'll see what happens. So he rolls his armor save and fails it. So in the end, he loses a few of them. I then shoot my Land Raider at his drop pod. Maybe I'll just take it down and do some damage to it. Maybe blow it up and maybe get lucky and kill a couple Space Marines in the chance. But I don't get any pens, unfortunately, with the Assault Cannon. I get my Melta Shot. And I roll. And I miss. It was actually a 2. So it would have been nice if I hit. Then I decided to shoot my... I decided to split fire my missile launcher at the drop pod once again to destroy it. And then shoot my bolters, my storm bolters at the squad. That way I can lighten them up, but not too much to the point where I can't assault them. I really want to stay in combat, hopefully maybe this turn. That way I don't get shot at next turn. So shoot all my weapons. Of course, I didn't shoot the... I decided not to use the Combi Plasma from Azrael. I want to save that for later. And in the end, they're all okay, so nothing there. Then I decided to assault with my Ravenwing. He overwatches. And doesn't get any wounds. And of course, I get in, so I get my Hammer Wrath attacks, which are going to be fun. I hopefully will kill some. And then I decided to assault with my Deathwing into the Tactical Marine Squad. As I mentioned, if I can kill the Tactical Marine Squads, I'm in a good shape for the game since he has no more scoring units. So I'm in plenty of distance, and they move in. And they're going to have a lot of fun now, since they should be able to eat that squad for breakfast now in this turn. A lot of close combat monsters. So I challenge with my Sergeant. Njal accepts. So that way I can minimize the amount of damage he'll do to the squad in this turn. And my Sergeant really doesn't have anything that's amazing, just an extra attack, because he's a veteran Sergeant. So I get my Hammer Wrath attacks, which actually kill a single Space Marine. That's pretty nice, because killing one just as a free guy, that's pretty nice. Then the Bird of Njal gets his attack first. It's one attack. No wounds though. And then he does his Room Priest and his other guy's attacks first. His other guy does have Lightning Claws, so it gets Shred, so he gets to reroll his to wound rolls. But doesn't get any wounds. Oh, sorry, I fail one, so one dies. And then I get to hit back at the same time. And he passes his armor save. And then I hit the other guy. And I get one wound on him. But he passes his armor save as well. And then finally we do our attacks for Njal versus my Sergeant. And as you see, Njal's a much better attacker than my Sergeant. He kills my Sergeant, but my Sergeant gets to go with the same initiative as him. And I get one hit. No wounds though. So I lost combat by one. Because I have the Hammer Wrath, and I do pass, so I'll keep him in combat for another turn. And now the Deathwing on the Dreadnought. He gets one hit, one wound, and I fail my invul, so he dies. And then I swing away, miss again with my Chain Fist, miss again with my Fist. So once again, those Terminators haven't hit anything this entire game. Now it's the Terminators on the Tactical Squad. My 2 HQs get to go first at initiative step 5, and they alone kill like 2/3 of the squad by themselves, especially Azrael with his mastercrafted AP3 strength 6 sword and 6 attacks on the charge. It's pretty fun. Then he gets to hit back at initiative step 4, and only gets a couple wounds. Bypass all my armor saves. I then charge in, and as you can kind of predict what's going to happen, I just overkill the squad insanely with my fists. Since I get 3 attacks per each guy, 4 is to hit, 2 is to squish. So there goes the entire Tactical Marine squad, and I consolidate 4 inches into cover, or into as much cover as I can get. So now it's Space Wolves turn 2. So he starts by rolling for see if his drop pod comes in, and it does, and it lands, but it scatters a little bit, but it's okay. It scatters right behind the Land Raider, but they'll still be able to pop out. And but they'll be pretty far away from the Relic, so I'm not really concerned about them this turn. Moves up his Dreadnought. And rolls for his ability for Njal and gets another 3, which becomes, I believe, a 4 because you get +1 for the game turn. And then starts casting his powers. I negate the first one on a 4+. And then the Rune Priest casts Enfeeble on my bikers and fails. So nothing happens there. And then starts shooting at them. He gets one wound, I get my armor save, and I pass. And then they start shooting at the other squad full of my HQs, and this is where they'll actually do some damage. So then Matt just continues to focus fire on those guys, the Terminators and my HQs, and unfortunately he has some weapons that will go through their armor, and gets a few more. I rolled my more wounds, lose another one. He's gonna focus so many armor saves right now that if you get enough, I'll roll ones eventually, and he's starting to whittle them down slowly but surely, and unfortunately he's killing all my troops instead of killing my HQs. So he kills another one. I roll my invols. They all get a 4-up invol because of Azrael. And I do pass all my invols luckily in that one, but I failed an armor save again, so I lose another Terminator. Back to close combat. The bird gets 2 attacks, but misses and doesn't do any damage. And then the rest of his guys keep swinging. And unfortunately, my bikers are kind of outmatched in close combat right now. I really should have given them a power fist or something to hurt. And he ends up killing all 3 of my bikers. Unfortunately, that one swipe alone. I do get to hit back at the same initiative step. I did 1 wound and he failed his armor save, so the Rune Priest takes a wound and he gets to consolidate an inch because he killed out my bikers. And then the Dreadnought swings away at my Deathwing that can't hurt, that just can't do anything to him. I fail one of my invols from the 2 wounds, and I decide to take the one that doesn't have the Chain Fist. That way I can possibly kill him with a Chain Fist, and my Chain Fist finally hits with 2 attacks. He gets his double D6s and gets 2 pens and blows up the Dreadnought. And that's what I was hoping it would happen 2 turns ago. I am very happy about that. Roll to see how far, and it does end up doing a wound to my Deathwing, and now I'm concerned that it'll kill him. Luckily, I passed with my 2-up armor save, and I consolidate 5 inches.
Looks like it's only 2 turns. Is that 2?
Yeah, it's only been 2 turns.
This game's going by quickly. There are not a lot of troops left. I got 2 over there and 1 over there.
And his troops left. You got that squad?
Yep.
Cool. All right, and we'll see what happens in turn 3. Now the game keeps going. Dark Angels, turn 3. So right now, my goal is just to survive and kill as many of his guys as possible, specifically his troops. I figure at this point, I don't think he can get Line Breaker. And if I can just keep back and maybe stand on top of the Relic to prevent him from getting it with those tactical Marines, I probably should have just assaulted his guys and done the same thing to them that I did to my other guys. But I decided a better idea would just be move up my Redeemer, block them from entering, and flame them and kill a bunch of them. I could probably get about 5 of them, and shoot my Assault Cannon at full ballistic skill. So I need... I don't know why I snap-fired my Assault Cannon. It should have been full ballistic skill, or maybe I moved 12. I don't think so, though. I got 1 hit. And then I killed 5 with my Flamer, and that alone wipes out half the squad. And he just figures out which one's closest. And I also should have shot my Melta. I don't remember if I actually shot it, because I could have gotten to snapfire it. So then he does... So then I decided to shoot at that last Dreadnought. I hit with both of them with my plasma gun. I used the combi plasma from Azrael this time, and then I hit with, and I also shot my missile launcher. And I don't get any pens with my plasma, so 1 glance and he loses a hull point. So then I decided to shoot my Stormbolter at Njal's squad, maybe to lighten it up and get an armor, but I failed to get anything. And I decided to assault them, maybe to tie them up, or maybe I can kill them. As long as they don't kill my Terminator, he'll go through their armor pretty easily. They overwatch, nothing happens, and I get into close combat. So they get to go first. They're at a higher initiative than 1. Bird goes first, doesn't wound, then gets all of his attacks. And in the end, he gets 4 wounds. So I roll 1 at a time, just in epic fashion. Unfortunately, I lose my guy, and he just dies, and they consolidate forward. That's unfortunate. So I lost another Terminator, and now it's Space Wolves turn 3. So he casts Enfeeble on my guys again. Rolls for it, and it goes off. So I try to deny, and I can't deny anything on a 4+ today. It's just kind of hilarious. So they cast Enfeeble again, and it perils, but it goes off. And I didn't deny again, so now they're toughness 2, and now at this point they're very killable since they're only toughness 2, and they can be instant killed by anything strength 4 up. So it moves them all closer, and now they're just going to do some serious damage because now they are only toughness 2. So then he starts shooting at my squad. Gets a couple hits, and pretty much everything that'll hit will wound now on 2s. So it's 2 more wounds. I pass both my armor saves. Keeps shooting at them again. And once again, 2s to wound. And gets a lot of them, so I roll all my 2-up saves. Any one of them that failed will instant kill. And after rolling them all, I actually failed one of my Ezekiel armor saves. And I decided just to let him die to keep my troops and my Warlord alive, so he dies, I lose all my psychic negation. And it just keeps shooting at that squad and picking on them. Now I'm only toughness 2, so toughness 2 is really easy to kill. Luckily I passed my armor saves because they're only 2+ armor saves. So once again shoots the Stormbolter at them. And I failed another one, so another Terminator dies. It's just down to Azrael and 1 more Deathwing. So he keeps shooting, I roll my armor saves, and I fail another one on Azrael. I look out Surret, and it's okay. So all my troops are now dead. Now I'm just essentially trying to stall them for tactics, and Azrael is still alive. So he wounds, and then he shoots his other guns, and then he shoots against the tank. He's D3 because of Njal's extra power, and gets a glance, so 1 hull point off. And then he tries to assault Azrael. I overwatch. I get 1 hit with my gun, and no wounds. So then he assaults in with his Dreadnought. I decided to challenge Njal, and Matt accepted the challenge, despite the fact that the Dreadnought would kill Azrael pretty easily in combat, but accepted. So the bird goes first on Azrael. Gets 2 attacks. Gets 1 wound. And I pass my armor save. It would have instant killed me, of course, if I failed it. So it's only strength 3, so it wouldn't have instant killed him, but it cost me a wound. Azrael gets to go first, and he gets a couple wounds on Njal. He gets his normal 2-up armor save because my weapon's only AP 3. And he fails 1, but he gets Feel No Pain. And fails his Feel No Pain. So Njal gets... Oh, sorry, he passed that on his reroll. Because it was cocked dice. And then Njal gets his attacks on Azrael. I roll my armor saves and pass them all. So Azrael's still alive in a locked-in combat. There we go. After 3 turns, Dark Angels are on the ropes right now because Essentially, up to here. But, yeah, it's the key. If I can slay his warlord somehow, we'll see what happens. And over there, his guys are still alive, but doesn't look like they're going to get to the relic anytime soon.
Nope.
So we'll see what happens in turn 4. And now it's Dark Angel's turn 4. Right now, my goal is just to keep going. I'm going to flame that squad once again with my Redeemer and shoot my assault cannon at full ballistic skill. That way I can wipe out his tactical marines. Thus, none of us can get the relic. I'm out of troops. He's out of troops. And I'm blocking with the Land Raiders. So that's a pretty good position. And I'm just hoping Azrael can stay alive, because then he can't get Linebreaker. I can't get Linebreaker. And I'll just win 1-0. But we'll see what has to happen. Because if he kills my guy, I'm in big trouble. So I roll, and I wipe out the entire squad with the assault cannon and the flamer. So they're all dead, and no more troops are left on the board at this moment. So back to close combat. Bird goes first, gets 1 attack, and gets a wound. I pass my armor save. I get my attacks back. 4 is to hit. So 3 is to hit. I get to Mastercrafted, so I get 3 hits, and then 4 is to wound. I get 2 wounds. He passes his armor. He fails 1 armor save and is feel no pain, so Njal is now down to 1 wound. And he swings back, but luckily I passed my armor saves. Otherwise, it would have instant killed Azrael and he would have died. So now it's Space Wolf's turn 4. He tries to cast Endurance on himself, goes off. The other guy casts Enfeeble on my guy, on Azrael. I don't negate it, so now he's down to Toughness 3. And he gets that extra attack thing. He gets a pen on my Land Raider due to Njal's power, but it is a shaken, so he'll be okay next turn. Back to close combat. His bird gets a wound on me. I get my attacks to hit Njal back, get 5 hits. Only 1 wound, and Njal saves it, unfortunately. And then Njal swings back at my guy, but I pass all my armor saves too, so it's still just a normal combat there. And now, because it is turn 4, here's what the battlefield looks like. Unfortunately, due to time constraints and the fact that there really wasn't that strong of a chance that Njal was going to kill Azrael, and that Azrael probably wouldn't kill Njal, or maybe I might kill Njal because he only has 1 wound left, that we decided just to call it now. And since he hasn't slayed my warlord, I haven't slayed his warlord, neither one of us have Linebreaker, and neither one of us can grab the relic. The score is 1-0. So it is an epic handshake. It's an awesome game, and it is a Dark Angels victory. So thank you very much for watching this battle report. And if you'd like to see another battle report at Black Knight Games with me fielding the same awesome list of Ravenwing, click on the link below for a free 7-day trial to the MiniWarGaming Vault. Not only will you get access to this battle report, you'll get access to many more battle reports, as well as some more awesome wargaming content. So until next time, this is Jay saying, happy wargaming, everyone.